Hello, friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. All right, as I mentioned yesterday, I am back in Texas, back home. It's good to be home. Um, Today's just going to be sort of a decompression day. Like I said, it's Saturday today. I know the end of yesterday's video said it was Saturday too, but I shot that about an hour ago. Now I'm shooting today's video. Normally, what I would do is do a restaurant video today, but this is just going to be kind of a decompression day, kind of a catch-up day for all the things I've missed. There's been a little bit of excitement around here, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But one of the things I need to do is just go to the grocery store, because I haven't been here for a while. I need to get milk, and I need to get juice, and I need to get some of the kind of perishable essentials of life that I need around here. I also, every year for Christmas, my parents always send me a live Christmas wreath. And that apparently was supposed to ship last week during the Thanksgiving week. But we didn't know exactly when it was supposed to arrive. Well, apparently it arrived on Wednesday and it came via UPS. And since there was nobody here to pick it up, they brought it down to the local CVS, which has a UPS branch in it, and just left a note on the door saying, hey, come pick it up here at this location. So I just went and got that, got it out of the box. It's really nice right now. I've got it on the inside of my door right now so I can show it to you, and I'll show it to you during this little segment. And then I'm eventually going to move it outside. Now I'm hoping it doesn't get stolen because I'm a little disappointed. I had a glass rain gauge out in front that I used to just kind of monitor rain. Sometime while I was gone, somebody stole that. So they just took it right off the rack and walked away with it. I went out last night about 4 to see, how much rain had come during the week, and it was gone. Now, also while I was out there, I met my friend, the guy who washed my car a few months ago when I got paint all over it. He was just kind of wandering around out there, and one of the first things I noticed when I got into the apartment is that there had been a power failure sometime while I was gone because all the clocks were blinking. Now I normally power down all the computers and all the electronics just for such an emergency because one, I don't want to leave them on while I'm gone, and because that's just a waste of electricity. And two, in the event that there is a power failure, that can be damaging to systems. So I usually like to, power everything down and unplug everything when I go away just to be safe. I'm really glad I did that because there was a power failure here that I noticed when I got back. And also when I drove in, I noticed that there had been another fire here in this place. There's a storage shed kind of out in back of the apartments. And when I drove by, it was all kind of netted up, and it was clear there'd been a fire in there. Now, I haven't looked at it that closely. I'm going to go out and take a look at it, and we'll put it on video and show you, what's there. But holy cow. Apparently this went out, my neighbor, my friend, when I met him, ran into him out there, he said, oh yeah, we had a fire. And apparently it happened on Thanksgiving morning about 2 a.m. I haven't heard exactly what happened, but it basically, out by that shed there, it's just a storage shed used by the maintenance guys. And apparently there was a gas line in there or something. And I guess the gas line got ignited. And unfortunately, when some of the neighbors have like furniture and mattresses and stuff like that, that they don't want anymore, they just abandon it right next to that shed. Well, I don't know if the fire started in the shed or started with the mattresses, but the mattresses are completely burned down to the metal frame. Most of the shed has been burned, and it looks like it started in the back of the shed and worked its way forward because there's a lot of stuff in the front of the shed that seems to have not been burned. But the back of the shed is a total loss. All of the mattresses and couches and stuff like that are out there are just literally burned down to the frame, and a car that was right next to it is a complete and total loss. So yeah, we're going to go out and look at that in a minute. And, I guess that's what happened when the fire went off, because there's power lines right up over the top of that shed. And I'm guessing what happened is when the fire went off, it burned those lines and that cut the power. And from what I'm hearing, a couple of the buildings, this is 2 days later now, a couple of the buildings are still without power. So I don't know how long power was interrupted. it was more than a couple seconds because that's usually all it takes to get the clocks to lose lose their time. But I don't know. It might have been out for several hours. It seemed to me that my friend said that, like I said, the fire happened about 2 in the morning. He said he was one of the first people to notice it, and he said it was like 10 the next day before his power went back on. And like I said, he said that also that one of the buildings over there is still without power. So I don't know what they're doing with that. Kind of figuring it out, but that was all part of the fun here. I also went by the storage locker today and picked up some of the Christmas lights because while I'm not going to do full-on Christmas lights around the apartment, there's an area where there's a tree outside, and I'm going to wrap lights around that, make that look nice, and I'm going to I'm going to put it on the gate outside. I got some nice icicle lights, so we'll hang those on the gate outside. It'll look nice. It'll be a little bit of Christmassy around here. And between that and my Christmas wreath, I'm going to demonstrate that we're into the Christmas spirit. So let's run outside, and I want to show you this building because, wow, I don't know what's going on here. A lot of fires around this place right now. Got to wonder if the new neighbors coming, or if the new owners are coming in here and saying, we bit off more than we chewed. Let's maybe burn it to the ground and collect the insurance so we can get out of this or something. I don't know. I don't know that's what's going on. I don't know if it was arson. I don't know if it was some electrical problem that set off a gas main or something like that. I don't know, but that's 2 fires in about 3 weeks in this place. So I don't know, skeptical. Let's go take a look. Christmassy. Yeah, so as I said, it kind of started here, or at least, all these mattresses here. This is kind of where it was all kind of abandoned here. And definitely looks like there's a gas line back over there. And basically incinerated the roof. And this is the inside of the thing here. Real mess in here. Like I said, it doesn't look like it made it up to the front. It looks like the bulk of the fire was in the back. And I don't know if it started back there. Does look like there was electricity in here. I don't know if it was on at the time, but yeah, burned everything in here. That's pretty much a mess. This stuff's all kind of burned to the ground here. Like I said, that's a gas line over there, and I'm assuming it kind of started back there. Who knows? If somebody just kind of came down this back alley here and threw something into that and started it, or if it started with the gas line and went from there, who knows. But then there's this car here, and this car is a total loss. I don't know, it's getting a little old reporting on fires in this place. Real mess out here. And of course another parking structure that's going to have to be repaired or maybe even replaced on this one, because this was quite a fire. Like I said, this car is a total loss. And yep, I love my apartment. Burned through the fuse box in here. Yeah, both of them. See, it could have started with that too. It could have just been some sort of a catastrophic failure in the fuse box that ignited all this garbage. So I'm guessing that this mattress here, which seems to have survived it despite the fact that everything else is reduced to ashes, I'm guessing that was probably added afterwards. So this is kind of the area behind the place, kind of a mess. Now I'm looking at this thing right here. As someone who worked at Disney for 11 years, that looks like a mortar shell that they use for like fireworks. You got to wonder if maybe this was some fireworks that landed here and maybe landed up on the roof, and it all started there. I don't know, speculating, but you know, that's interesting that that thing's right there. I don't know if that's a part of it or what, but count on the fact that the insurance company is going to be paying for these people's car. Hope my rent doesn't go up because of this. Better not. I got a lease until July. So one of my neighbors was out here. He saw me, videotaping this. Wondered if I was an insurance adjuster, and he pointed out that, yeah, this car got it too. Because I mean, that back is all melted, and this car got it, and this is melted too. This actually belongs to that friend of mine, and we were wondering if he even knows about it, because that's all melted. It's discolored back here, and the building over here that I told you that the power was out, it is still out, and in fact the landlord is having to move all the people out of there, and they're going to have to move them into other units because they don't know how long it's going to take before they're going to get the power restored in these buildings, because it's still dark in there, and these guys are talking about going to get an apartment. Now I was kind of speculating that the fire maybe had gotten up into the power lines and done that, but this guy's that I was talking to is suggesting that it might have just been, this is maybe the breaker for the entire complex, and when it caught on fire, it just this is what took out the whole building. I mean, those are pretty good sized fuses in there. You know, that isn't your typical household fuse. That's, a few hundred amps on each of those. So, and like I said, there's two of them in here, so that's a mess. Like I said, I hope my rent doesn't go up. So I got the Christmas lights up today, and they look pretty nice, so we're good to go on that front. Sent a couple pictures off to my mom because she always likes to see the pictures of the Christmas wreath and what I've done with the place. She kind of knows what I did in my place in California, but this is kind of her first opportunity to see what my place looks like here with the Christmas lights up. I also got some compliments from some of the neighbors, especially the ones that are having to move out of their apartment because they have no power, so I kind of felt a little sorry for them, but, they thought it looked nice, and I got some good feedback from the neighbors. So, you know what, we're on that front. We're on Christmas now. So anyway, that is all I have for today. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.